Okay. Can you hear
Okay.
me now?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds a
Yeah.
lot better.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, is it me or what is happening? Okay. Great. So thank you so much, first of all, for joining me today. And I am excited to have you.
I'm excited to be
This,
here.
yes, the premise of my podcast is back in 2013, I went to this conference that was a soul conference, right? And so I am a pastor's child, been in church all my life. That was the first time I ever went to something that was focused on not the spirit but the soul. And so once I went there, I started noticing about myself that I was very strong in spirit but
Mhm.
broken in my soul.
Mm.
And so that sent me on a long journey. And this podcast is kind of just me taking people along with me on that journey to soul discovery, right? And I am still a pastor's child, of course, and so still seeing people now that are where I was in terms of being very strong spiritually, but you can't, you're depressed or you
Mhm.
can't go to bed at night because you got so much going on in your head, like all the
Mhm.
different things.
Mhm.
And so I started the podcast with that in mind. Okay. And then I do have a business that's called Spirit, Soul, and Business. So this is kind of the soul part
Mhm.
of that business. And I have been inviting people on to have conversations like the one we're about to have.
I love this.
This Yes, this specific season
This is the
is about
kind of.
connecting to God, yourself, and others.
Mm.
And I love your when I went to your website, I was like, yes, 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 yes. Like
Oh.
remixing our lives and understanding where we are now, growing, evolving, like all the things. And I was like, absolutely
Wow.
yes.
I
So
love
I
it.
do appreciate you. Yes. So I do appreciate you for coming. You are right on target, with what our conversations are. And I just know that whatever you have to offer today will be an extreme blessing to the audience. While I am faith based, this is not preachy at all. This is very conversational. And I just want you to feel comfortable um, and do what you do.
I love that. Would I be able to? Is it okay if I record like some behind the scenes stuff? Is that okay?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. It may not look like I'm looking at you, but I am looking at you. It's just the angle of the camera that my husband set up for me, and he left and went to work, so I don't know what to do.
He left you hanging, girl. It's all good. It is all good. It is all good.
Yes. So for the most part, this is audio. I will take some of the video from it. It will be more so of you than of me. And when we air your podcast, we'll use some of your footage to do promo, of course.
Sounds good. Is the lighting okay? I can't tell.
Yes, you look
Okay.
great.
Okay. Thank you
You look
so
great.
much. So do
No
you.
problem. And so, what we'll do is, I start off the podcast just with my intro. I'll introduce you, and then we'll go into what we call the Say More segment, which I'm going to ask you some random questions. You answer those questions. Once we do the questions, I'll do a segue into our conversation, and we'll just go from there. I think the questions that I have to ask you are fairly simple for you to answer. I definitely want to know about your journey, how you got here to be the remix coach, because obviously you had to do some remixing yourself to get to this place. So we
Come
would love to
on.
know your journey.
I see you starting already. You starting already. You know what you talking about. You starting already.
Yes, we want to know your journey and how you got there. And one question that I definitely want to ask you at the end is not only what you would say to your younger self, but also what you would say to your future self
That's
about
good.
remixing your life.
That's good.
Yes, that's probably going to be the last question that I ask. Um, and then we give you an opportunity if you want to talk about your website, any events, products, whatever that you may have going on, and then we'll close it out from there.
Sounds
And
good.
so that is the premise of the podcast. I You're going to see that it's recording, but this is only for me not to forget. I'm going to count down when we actually start recording
Okay.
the podcast. But yes. So any questions from that?
No,
Or
let's
you
go. I
good?
love conversations like this. I love deep
Let's go.
conversations.
I love
I
it.
love it.
Yes.
Nothing is
Let's
off. I'm an
go.
open book, so I'm gonna give it to you straight. So I love having soul conversations.
Where are you located?
I'm in Maryland.
I knew it was somewhere up north. Okay.
Where are you?
Is that
I'm
where you're
from
from too?
Jersey. I'm from Jersey.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Where are you
I
from?
was like, nope, she higher than that. I'm from Connecticut, so I
You
knew
said
my
hi.
people was
Oh,
my
so you
area.
know. You know your people.
As soon as you said let's go, I was like, yep, she not. She's from up north. She's from up top. I knew it.
Yes.
Yes, I know my people.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna count down 5, 4. Hold on, let me just get my notes right. Get that over. Why is that? Here we go. All right. All right. And 5, 4, 3. Thought provoking conversations with experts, storytellers, and everyday people who offer unique perspectives on topics ranging from personal growth and spirituality to resilience and transformation. In today's episode, I have the honor of welcoming Kendéll Lenice. She is a certified transformation life coach, author, writer, professional, and keynote speaker, talk show host, journalist, colon cancer survivor, and health advocate. And she is an aging advocate, as well as a certified meditation practitioner specializing in breathing techniques. Kendéll Lenice, affectionately known as the Remix Coach, has been dedicated to life coaching for over 2 decades. Kendell's mission is to inspire people to reach their fullest potential through self-awareness, self-acceptance, and authenticity. Her deep love for people has made coaching a natural calling with a simple goal to motivate women, men, and children to live their best lives intentionally. Kendéll lives up her own motto, which is it's never too late to remix your life. She not only coined the phrase, but she lives by it, proving that the only real limits in life are the ones we place on ourselves. Welcome to Soul Reset, Kendéll Lenice.
You. Boo, 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 boo.
So,
Thank you
we read the
so much.
bio. Yes, welcome. So we read the bio, but we like to know more. So in our Say More segment, we're going to ask you 5 questions to find out more about you. Are you ready?
Yes. I
Okay.
sound real ready.
If
Wait,
you
I
could
was like, yes.
if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, it would be.
Ooh, ooh, some type of fish and fruit.
Mm, that's a combination.
Yes.
Okay. If your soul had a theme song, what would it be?
Ooh, I can make up the song, or it got to be a song that's out.
Either one.
If my soul had one, that's a good one. It would be something from Sade, something sweet, something vibey.
Okay. I got you. I got the vibe. The sultry and the yes, I got the
Right.
vibe.
Something that's real chill.
What's a song? Yes. What's a song, a scent, or a snack that instantly brings you joy?
Anything by New Edition, anything by New Edition. I don't care what song it is, Bobby Brown, it's going to instantly make me nostalgic and happy. And a snack, um, it's so funny because things change. Let's see. But you know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm a black woman, but I'm gonna say some watermelon with some tahini on it.
I love it. I love it. So, you are crafting a day dedicated to nurturing your soul. What are you doing? Where do you go? And who are you with?
Ooh. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's I'm going somewhere where there is water, preferably a
Mm-hmm.
boat. I'm going
Ooh.
somewhere where it's good vibes only, the people there and the place, but it got to be some water,
Mm-hmm.
some a boat, and I'm gonna see my daughters there, and I'm gonna see my man there.
Okay then. Okay then. Her man.
My man.
Yes. The last question is the motto. Well, we kind of answered this already with your bio. The motto or mantra I live by is.
My own. It's never too late to remix your life at any stage, age, or phase. I'm not only the president, I am a member. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much for participating in our Say More segment. And I just wanted to segue into our conversations today because sometimes we get to a point in life where we kind of look around and be like, scary, especially when we are what we feel to be later in life. Or because
Mm.
I've heard 20-year-olds feel like they're too old, right, for
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what we feel is too late. That's why this today's conversation matters so much. Kendéll Lenice, you are the remix coach, and you are living proof that your story can evolve at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you teach people how to rewrite the narrative, reframe the past, and rise into the life that they were meant to live. No matter the age, it's never too late. You're not too far gone, and your next chapter can be the best one yet.
Mm.
So I want to start by asking you. You don't just get called the remix coach without having some sort of remix in your life.
Yes.
So tell us the journey to becoming the remix coach.
Well, depends on where you want to start. We could start from the beginning. I just feel like my whole life I've remixed my life, right? Doing things
Mm,
differently, trying to think outside of the box, doing things that other people weren't doing, other children. I have always been an independent child, a strong child, a very, very creative child, a child that never thought that anything was too big to do. Like I never had fear when it
mm-hmm,
came to doing something creative. I'm a creative type person from my feet to my head. So when I think about remixing, like I've always done it, I wasn't calling it remixing, but I was always doing something. I was painting clothes, I was maybe wearing something different, I was thinking differently. So I was remixing how I thought, how I dressed. The different things that I was interested in. I was listening to, all kinds of
mm-hmm,
music. I was a dancer, so remixing it. And as I got older, I got married at 20 years old in college, had my first daughter at
mm,
22. So then I moved across country from New Jersey to Las Vegas. So I had to remix my address, remix everything that I knew, and go clear across the country, newly married, young. So remixing that from the college student, still a college student, even in Vegas, but then remixing a single person to a married person, then remixing a single
mm,
married person to now a mother, right? And doing differently in my career. So then, then I moved to Maryland, remixing my life, got divorced when I came to Maryland. So then that's a remix as a single mom. How am I going to navigate through that? Stops college, was working on my career. I've been doing life coaching and everything for so many years, over 20 years. And then going back to
mm-hmm,
school, remixing my life. I'm fast forwarded in my 40s, got two
mm-hmm.
college degrees, right? So doing things differently, remixing that. And then my children in college. At one point, all three of us were in college together, my two daughters and myself. So think about that, remixing that budget. How about that? So, so then I'm going back into what I love, like full throttle, like remixing, like, okay, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, then I'm a mother, then I'm not a wife, but I'm always a mother. So then a single mom with me and God. So what does that look like? What do I need to do as far as my career? How do I need to operate in that? I'm going to school, I have business, it's just a lot of different things. So remixing has always been a common thread in my life. That's what I know. I didn't start
Mm.
calling it remixing probably to remixing your life. I think I came up with that maybe 15 years ago, if that. So just trying to understand what that looks like. So remixing is just simply doing things differently and learning how to pivot. That's what remixing is. Like, okay, this might have worked, but how can it work better? Let me do this. I might be healed, but I can be healed better. Let me work on this. Let me remix how I respond. Let me remix if I'm defensive. Let me remix how I love to make sure I'm fully present. So remixing is really a constant job, and I've remixed my life a million times. And I say sometimes remixing is a matter of life and not life, right? Being here or not being here, because sometimes you got to say, okay, what is it? What do I have to do? So I'm not just a life coach, but I even life coach myself. And I think that's very important to do that, because it's always being better, because God wants our best for us, right? And he keeps giving
Mm.
us grace and allowing us to see our whole selves in different situations. So how can we be the light? How can we remix a situation? If we're at work and somebody is gossiping, how can we remix that situation and make it positive, or not respond or be involved? So to answer your question, I've been remixing my life all the time. So who Kendéll is an intelligent child, a gifted child, creative, always knew that I was one of God's favorites, loved God, and I grew up the same way. Think of all of those things that I said, it's the same thing. So I'm the same person,
Mm.
except remixed as I've gotten older.
Wow. And as I'm listening to you talk, I realize that all of your remixing, you've been able to do something that a lot of people are not able to do. And that is embrace every part of your evolution.
Mm.
You went from, you said college to you're married to
Mm-hmm.
mom to
Mm-hmm.
divorce. Like, and you've been able, the reason you were able to remix is because you were able to embrace where you were in that moment. And
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people that are unable to do that
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think allowed you to be able to do that?
Because I'm not going to stick and stay in anything, even if it's in my own self, right? Or anybody else, a
Mm-hmm.
marriage or anything, a friendship. I'm not going to stick and stay if it's not serving me and if it's not serving God, because I know He wants the best for me. And the first person I always look at as is myself. Am I myself? Am I thriving? Am I the best version that I could be in this situation, or with this person, or with this friendship, or with myself? You got to look at yourself first. And it's easy for me to do that because I always want the best for me, because I know God wants the best for me.
Mm.
Sometimes more than others. It may take longer. It may be shorter. It all depends where I am. But I'm able to do that because I'm not a blame giver. I don't point the blame a lot. I always look at myself and say, okay, how can I be better? Because I could be on these internet streets slamming everybody. You get what I'm saying? Or blaming everybody for everything. Come on, you can get it, you can get it, you can get it. But what is that going to do? So the only person that I have agency over and who I'm responsible for, is myself. So it's easy to do that because I want to be better each day. And that is my commitment to myself and to God.
Mm. So, with that in mind, what role does self awareness play in remixing your life?
100%. It's top. It's one of the tops because self-auditing, self-awareness are similar, and it's something that we all have to look at. And a lot of people will blame other people for a lot of things, that their choices and decisions that they made, right? And when they don't work out according to how they want to say, well, it's your fault, it's their fault. So self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-auditing is number one, because you can't heal, grow, or move to any next level without it.
Mm. And many people, just like you said, they kind of feel stuck in their circumstances. So, what would you say to someone who believes that it's too late to change their life or too late to remix? their life where they are?
I will be 54 years old in June, right?
No
So,
way.
yes, girl. Yes. I am 53 presently. And I would say that's what I'm talking about. It's never too late. As long as your address is not at a cemetery, it's not too late, right? So I would say, I've talked to 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds that really think that their life is over or it's too late to do anything. As long as you have breath in your body and the will to do it and the grace from God to do it, there's nothing that you can't do. So I would say I challenge you to try it anyway, no matter your age, wherever you are right now. I just challenge you to try, because some people say it's too late and they don't even try.
Mm. So take us practically through that try. What does that try look like?
Say first, making the choice and decision, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to try, whatever you think it's too late for, make the decision. Say, you know what, I'm going to put my best foot forward. Sometimes it's like you're not even research. Now we're in a, like anything you want to do, like I sound old when I say this, but back in my day it was no internet. Like we had to go to the library and research things. So now you can say, hey, I think I want to do this, right? Chat GPT, Google, you put it in there and it'll tell you ways to do it. You don't even have to really think for yourself, truth be told. So what
Mm.
you have to do is make the decision for yourself, just to do, just research. I would tell somebody, if you're afraid to do whatever, do your research first. Talk to other people, go online, see who else has done what you're trying to do. Do that first, and that'll give you a little courage. See a life coach like me, whatever that looks like, but just do the research first. That's what trying looks like, making the decision and taking action.
I love that because that was the first thing I thought of too. It starts with a decision. You have to
Mm-hmm.
choose
Mm-hmm.
differently. But let me ask you this question. I'm playing angel's advocate, right?
I love it.
So I have been at points in my life where I needed to remix where I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I had also gotten to a point that I did not trust myself in my decision making.
That's real.
So, what do you say to people who are like in that crossroads? Like, I really want to do something different, but the last time I made a decision, it didn't turn out well at all. And so now I'm kind of stuck in the freeze mode, right? I don't want to go forward. I don't want to go backward. Just right here where I am is comfortable. I don't want to do anything else because I'm not trusting in my decision.
I look at you and I see Tamika, is my friend's name, and we call her Meek. And I would keep looking at you like saying that. I know people probably call you that, but
Yes.
and that's, first let me say that's common.
Mm-hmm.
You're not an anomaly. That's something that many of us go through. If you've made a decision and you've made similar decisions that didn't work out so well, you begin to discredit yourself and your decision making skills. I talk about this in my book, excuse me, Your Unhealed is Showing, and forgiving yourself
Mm.
of the choices and the decisions that you've made. There's a whole chapter on this, because a lot of times we sit in the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and I wish I would have done that. I mean, I definitely have done that, but you can't unring the bell, right? You just get more tools and you do your research and you sit in yourself and you sit in your prayer to ask God to help you make better choices and wiser decisions. So really that's what it is, or saying, okay, these are the decisions I made. Why did I make them? Right? What state was I in? How was I feeling? Did I have enough sleep? Did I have enough to eat? Was I operating in loneliness? Whatever it is, where was I operating, to try to see, and then extend yourself grace and give yourself another chance. You give other people other chances, and they haven't shown that they made great decisions, but you trust them. So you got to just start trying to trust yourself again.
I love that. I love that. And giving yourself the grace. I love that you said that, giving yourself the grace.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that, or you can tell me if I'm wrong. What I hear you saying is that there is a portion of healing that
Mm-hmm.
has to take place either as you remix or before you remix. You
Yes.
can tell me which one it is, but healing is what's going to start leading you to that point of transformation, that point that you can make a decision, that point that you can forgive yourself, all those things. So how are you guiding your clients or anyone through that healing process as they're remixing their life?
That's good. Well, you asked if it's before or during. It's actually both, because you have to make the
Mm,
choice to remix your life and do things differently. And once you knock your head up against the wall, more than once, twice, or 10 times, you're gonna get tired of
mm-hmm,
getting that bruise. You're gonna get tired of the headache from hitting your head up against the wall. So you're going to want to
mm-hmm,
do something different. So it really is the willingness to be able to do something different. And the healing comes with the decision first, that what, I need to heal. And like we were talking about, self auditing, saying,
mm-hmm,
what, it's not everybody else. It is me, this part of me that I need to work on, not for the other people to benefit or to make them happy, but for me. If you keep losing
mm-hmm,
friends, jobs, spouses, boyfriend, girlfriends, friends, if you have to start looking at yourself and say, okay, what do I need to heal? Why am I triggered by that? Why am I defensive by that? Like, what's going on with me? And that's the starting point. And that part where you hurt the most, that's usually the part where you need to start the healing process. And then so it's
mm,
really making like that part that keeps happening. Take an inventory of the people who love you, not the people who don't love you. The people who love you and they're tried and true. Ask them, hey, what do you think is some things that I need to work on, or just to see, right? And see if there's a common thread, and then start there. But 9 times out of 10, you know what you need to work on. Most people know. And it's just acknowledging and admitting it to yourself and then starting there. And it's not a certain amount of time. It's not like, okay, in 90 days I'll be healed. It's going to be a process. And sometimes it'll
mm-hmm.
get ugly before it gets pretty. But the reward is great.
So you just talked about it's a process. So does remixing ever start? Do we ever arrive to remix, or
Yes.
or
Yes.
how does that work?
Yes, we do, because it's the changes in doing things differently and learning from
Mm-hmm,
your mistakes. That's what remixing is. So you can remix different areas of your life and say, okay, this is it. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
I am in a healthy relationship, or now, my friendships are thriving, or I am in the career that I want, and I remix some things.
mm-hmm,
Remixing your things, if you want to be a nurse, and you ain't never been to nursing school, you're gonna have to remix that education. If your degree is in business, if your degree is in human services, you're gonna have to remix that education to do what you want, if that's something you really want to do. So certain things are definitive and you can remix them, but you're never going to stop remixing your life, because you're never going to stop evolving and trying to do things differently.
mm. That is so good. So let's talk about people, and I hate to say later in life, because just like I said, there are 20-year-olds who feel like
Mhm.
they are later in life.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
what does remixing look like in your 40s and now in your 50s? What's the difference between now and then? Like, what does remixing look like now for you?
Maturity, right? It looks self-awareness, because sometimes you let me change it. So self-awareness, right? You can have self-awareness in your 20s, you can have self-awareness in your 30s and 40s, and so on and so on. But it's a difference between
Mm-hmm.
having self-awareness and then working on the things that you see and admitting them to yourself. Because some people could be like, I know I'm this, I know I'm that, but they're not changing it and they're not admitting it to themselves out loud.
Yeah.
So when you
Yeah.
start admitting it to yourself out loud, then you're responsible for remixing it. So sometimes it looks different because of the immaturity, and immaturity has nothing to do with age, right? It's that whole mindset and willing to switch some things up. So in your 20s, it could
Mm.
look like it's everybody else and not me. It could look like
Yeah.
anger It could look like blaming parents as you're an adult. It could look like a lot of different things. And then as you get
Mm-hmm.
older, the things that you were worried about, or the things that were hurtful to you on the inside, you begin to heal, and you start seeing things differently, and you start giving grace to
Yes.
yourself and to others, and you realize certain things don't matter because I'm holding on to some type of energy, and at 40 and 50 I ain't got time for that. I forgive you, you good, you stay over there, I'm not concerned. Where maybe in your younger years you're worrying about everybody and every little thing, and it's consuming you. And then when you get older, you be like, I see you, you're good over there, I'm good over here, and you don't feel anything, you're freer. So that's, it looks a little different that way.
So I hear you. I agree with you. I want to know, what is the difference between what you just said and someone who is actively in avoidance,
Mm.
or not willing to, unfortunately, I'm going to put it this way. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
I see now, I'm 45. I
Okay,
see a
you look
lot.
good. I would never thought that. Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people, 40s,
Mm-hmm.
50s, who lack that maturity that you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so unfortunate to me, and not
Mm-hmm.
that I'm looking down or anything like that on anyone in any way, but I do notice a lot of blame shifting,
Mm-hmm.
gaslighting,
Mm-hmm.
all of those type of things. And unfortunately, I'm starting to think that, number one, this is normal for some people,
Mm-hmm.
but number two, they don't even realize it. And so when we talk about remixing and I'm getting older and I'm maturing, how do we do that when we are in relationship with people that lack that maturity?
Well, you're absolutely right. And like I said, maturity has nothing to do with age. And you have the right to choose who you want to be in relationship with, right? So you can remove people out of your life, and it's not selfish. It's self preservation. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. So you can. So certain people are not willing to come with you. Certain people are not meant to come with you. Whatever that looks like to you. So you get to decide who you want in your life and who you don't. And it's not mean. It's not unhealthy. It's a healthy state of being, because you don't want to drag somebody with you that's on your ankle, and they're just bringing negativity, they're bringing dishonesty, they're bringing disruption. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're trying to remix your life and go into a healthy way. You're trying to live a healthy life in all aspects. It's just like if you got somebody and you say, listen, I don't want to eat a hamburger. I'm just thinking, I don't want to eat a hamburger. But that person, every time you see them, they got a hamburger for you. And you done told the person, I don't want a hamburger. I'm not eating a hamburger. But every time, it's the blatant disrespect when you say, hey, listen, this is the vibe I'm on. So some people don't want to, and it's okay. It's not your job to say this is what you have to do. Your job is you, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
responsible for you. Employee of one, right? You get to
Absolutely.
say this is what it is. So I get it. Some people you want to take with you, some people you want to, grow them up. But everybody is on their own journey. And respectfully, you can decline somebody from going on the journey with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to shift gears just a little bit
Mm-hmm.
here, because I want to find out from you, what continues to keep you inspired in this role as a remix coach and
Mm,
transformational life coach and all the other things
mm.
that you are doing right now?
Ooh, what keeps me inspired? I'm a people person. Like, I love to see people win. We're talking about earlier, we talked about childhood. I've been this way literally my whole life. I have
Mm-hmm.
always collected people. different walks of lives and backgrounds. I've always been a cheerleader for the underdog. You know, I think back to childhood when I looked at old yearbooks. I went to back, look, it's back then now. I went to my 20th year high school reunion. And when I went, everybody, they had the yearbook, and I said, let me just look through it. And people were like, thank you for helping me, thank you for being kind, you did this. And I don't remember these things, but I was life coaching in high school. I didn't know that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So what keeps me inspired is seeing people transform when they thought they couldn't. That really inspires me, and to see the good in people, and to be some type of catalyst to help them maybe think differently or move
Mm.
differently, or to inspire them to do something different. And a lot of times my life coaching, I can't tell you how many people, and I always say more is caught than taught, how many people have told me that they're inspired by me just by seeing me move and how I am. So it inspires me to be a better version of myself for me, but I'm not. I would be a fool if I said that I don't think people are watching, because now I can't say that. So I have a different responsibility because people have literally told me that. And I just love people, and I just want to see people win. And sometimes, not that I'm perfect by any means, child. I ain't perfect. I'm not flawless, right? I'm flawed just like everybody else. But if I can inspire people through my life and my honesty, and some of the things that I'm doing, that inspires me. So all of that together really inspires me to see. I just really want to see people win, especially women,
Mm.
especially Black women. I just want to see us win.
Yes. You actually answered the next question I was about to ask, which is, what is the legacy that you want to leave? And you just
Um,
answered.
yeah, that I really wanted to genuinely help people. And I genuinely love people, and I really want to see people win, and I want people to say, you know what, she really rode for us. She liked us, she loved us,
Mm-hmm.
she rode for us, she shared her life with us, in a sense of to really inspire somebody to remix it. And it's not too late. When I first went back to college in my 40s, after already having a career, I didn't have to technically go. And I had to question, I was like, dang, I used to be real smart. Am I still smart? Do I still have it? And realizing I went back to school in my 40s. I made the dean's list the first semester. I said, okay. Graduated magna cum laude. I said, okay, okay. But everybody has those fears when you're walking into something where you feel like you may be too old, like you talked about, or too this, or too, like some people may feel like from where they from, they're too hood, or they're too country, or they're too whatever, too big, too small, too brown, too light, too all of these things that people come up with their mind are barriers, just because people are afraid to do it. But you got to put your little toe in the water to see if it's warm or not. Put your toe in. Put
Absolutely.
your toe in.
And as I'm listening to you talk, I'm sitting here like, we also have to remix how we think about age.
You read that I advocate for age, right?
Yes.
We have to. I started a talk show that has been in my mind, in my heart, and I just executive produced it, created it. I'm so proud of it. 3 episodes thus far are on YouTube. I have a fourth one. I'm trying to get this for the masses, but it's called Grown Woman Energy. And it's for women
Mm.
over 50, but not limited to. And all of the things that we're talking about is breaking myths. We're laughing, we're sharing, we're having vulnerable conversations. I pulled in 2 sisters to do it with me. And I started that in my 50s, right? I am the type of person, I don't even see that. I'm just going after what I want, and I'm not allowing age to limit me. I'm not allowing anything to limit me. I'm just that type
Yes.
of person. So if I can show you that you can still do it, I didn't think like, "Oh my god, I'm 53 starting a new talk." It never crossed my mind, but I understand just by listening to people that people do think that there's a barrier with age and they can't do things. And I'm here to tell you it's not true. You can do anything you want to do at any age, stage, or phase. It's not too late. I promise you. It's not. But people do. There is ageism. Other people think it. And then people think, well, I can't do that now. I can't, I'm too old. Like, who is telling you that? And we don't like them. We don't know who these
Right.
people are. We don't like them. You can do
Who
what you
are they?
want.
Yes, yes, yes. And I don't know if you see it this way. This is the way that I see it. I do believe that a lot of it is cultural
Mm-hmm.
because when we look at our counterparts, they don't mind starting things at 70, becoming president at 80. They don't mind any of
Mm-hmm.
those things. A lot of that is ingrained in us that we have to
Yes.
accomplish something by this age, and then by this age you do that, and then by this age you do that. And I
We
see
have this
you
timeline.
rewriting the story. I see you rewriting the story,
Yes,
and
I
I love
love
that.
that. Yes, and
Mm-hmm.
people do. I've talked to people, oh my God, I'm about to turn 30. My life is over. I was supposed to have this. Like, who said that? You? That's not the plan that was written for you. Who said that? You? You
Mm-hmm.
said this. You said this sitting in your room with a baby doll at 13 saying, this is what I'm going to do. Like, who said that? You know, there's no, everybody is on their own timeline. And I think that's where anxiety and stress comes from because people are racing the clock that they created. We don't know
Mm-hmm.
God's plan. We don't know. So how do we know that it's too late to do that? Now, if you're 99 and a half and you're trying to have a baby, think about the odds. Maybe not, go back to biblical times. It's still possible, right? So you just don't. But realistic. And those are smart goals, and one of the smart goals
Mm-hmm.
is like realistic type of goals. Can I do this? Now, can you go climb Mount Everest tomorrow? And you won't work out, you ain't worked out in 15 years? No, that's
Mm-hmm.
not
Right.
realistic. But can you do it tomorrow? No. But can you train to do that at 60 years old? You sure can. So you
Absolutely.
still have to be smart and still think about the things. You can still do it, but make sure you get the training. Make sure you study it and then prepare yourself to do it. If you're scared of heights and you never liked heights, you're going to say, I'm going to jump off right now. No, you're going to prepare yourself,
Mm-hmm.
maybe go to therapy, learn breathing techniques, figure out some things, and then you can go ahead and do that. But you want to prepare yourself first.
Absolutely. And I just pulled this up as you were talking because this is what I was thinking about. And I think it's something that we need to be reminded of often. There were many successful people who started and became successful later in life, such
Like
as
Colonel
Ray Kroc, who
Sanders.
started McDonald's. Yep.
Colonel Sanders,
Ray Kroc started
65 years
McDonald's at
old.
50.
Yep.
Yes. Ray Kroc started McDonald's at 52. Martha
Mm-hmm.
Stewart started her magazine at 49.
Mm-hmm.
Vera Wang started her bridal boutique at 50.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Walton started Walmart at
Mm-hmm.
44.
Mm-hmm.
And Bernie Marcus started Home Depot at age 50.
Yes. And like I said, Colonel Sanders at 65 years old.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That finger licking good. He was
Mm-hmm.
65 years old. I
Mm-hmm.
love that you pulled up that list because it's so funny we were on the same page because I was thinking that too. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that you brought that up. It's not too
Yes.
late.
And age really is only a number. It's whatever meaning you put on it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. That part.
Yeah. Because I have said over the past couple of weeks, I'm 45 and I'm aging backwards. And I'm sticking to that.
Yeah. When's your
I am
birthday?
aging backwards. I will be here for a long time and I will be here for a good time.
That part.
For a long time.
That part.
Yes. Yes.
I love
And
it.
so whatever again, that also starts with decisions because I can't eat everything. I can't do everything. I can't, so that also starts with decisions. If I want to live a long and happy life, there are decisions that I need to start making now in order for that to happen.
Yes.
And I need to start remixing now so that later I can be mixed.
Come on now. Come on. Come on. And you remixing the way
I
you
can be
eat.
fully mixed.
Yes. I love
Yes.
it.
And I think that's so, so important for people to understand that age literally is only a number. You are
Yes.
as young as you feel.
Yes.
And any changes, if you're feeling that in your body, there are things that you can do to even make yourself not feel all the
Yes.
things that you start feeling when you're age. But everything starts, all the remixes start with a decision.
That's right.
So tell me, if they all start with a decision, but what's the next step? Give me just one practical step that everybody can take. Once they make that decision, what's the practical step they take next?
Look at yourself.
Mm.
Look at yourself. Get a journal. Write down the things that you love about yourself. We always start positive. Think about all the stuff that you love about yourself. You can take a poll with the friends and family that you know love you. You can know yourself. Think about all the things that you love about yourself, all the positive things, all the amazing things. We're going to start there. And then look at the list and then write some things that, hey, I need to work on this, whatever it is. Even if it's like you said, make sure you change your eating habits and different things like that. Or maybe you pop off at the mouth or whatever it is. Just think about the things that you want to, whether you're drinking or cussing or fussing or whatever it is that you like, oh, yeah, I can clean that up. I can clean the money up. I can clean the, you know what I mean? I can clean my disposition up. I'm getting an attitude. Whatever it is, look at that side and start there and start saying, okay, I may tackle this is what, I made the decision and now where do I want to start? Get a life coach, get a therapist, a counselor, all three, whatever it is. Like, I'm not going to be able to do this by myself. Let me, get some help. So I think it's really just looking at yourself, really doing a self audit. And I think I've been saying that because it's so important. And then maybe hiring somebody to help you. And the thing about life coaching, I can speak, I've been doing it 25 years. Don't allow money to prohibit you from getting the help you need because there's a lot. Honey, I started taking Klarna, Afterpay. What you want? I don't want you to stop. Just call me. We'll work out something, but sometimes that will prohibit people from getting the help that they need. And everything you
Mm-hmm.
can't do by yourself. You can't.
We were made for community. That is
Mhm.
absolutely right.
Mhm.
So, one last question I want to ask you today is, um, with your whole remixed life,
Mhm.
what is something that you would tell your younger self? And then, what is something that you would tell your future self?
I would tell my younger self to relax and don't worry about what everybody got to say. Um, I would say that I would just keep reminding her that she's special. I would keep reminding her that she's enough. I will remind her that you don't have to prove everything to everybody. You don't owe everybody an explanation for everything. You know what I mean? You don't have to um, make sure people like you because they already do. You know what I mean? Sometimes when we're younger, we just do too much, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and just so I would just tell her that you good girl, you dope, you're amazing, you're going to go on to do great things. Just keep your personality and don't let anybody steal your smile. I would tell her,
Absolutely.
yeah. And my future self, it would be similar. Still walking that childlike faith, still
Ooh,
know how amazing you are and who God called you to be, and everything that God put in you is going to be out of you, right? He's going to leave you empty. Your gifts made room for you. That's what I would tell my future self, just to stay faithful.
I love that
Mhm.
so
Thank
much.
you.
That is one of my goals in life, to die empty. I want to make
Yes.
that is it. I want to make
Yes.
sure, and it looks real busy and chaotic to other people, but
I get it.
that is the goal.
Mhm.
That is the goal. Kendall, thank you so much for sharing with us today. And As we come to a close, I do want to make sure that you tell the listeners where they can find you, especially your coaching services, your book, all the things that you mentioned. If you have any events that may be coming up, we would love to know about that as well. So if you can just tell everyone where we can find you and any of those things, books, services, events, whatever.
Yes, thank you. First, thank you, Smika. Thank you so much for having
Thank
me. I
you.
appreciate it. I love what you're doing. And I think soul work is so important. And I love just the title Soul Reset because we all have to reset. We all have to hit that reset button. And it starts with our soul. Like our soul is
Mhm.
so very important. It guides us, it moves us. So thank you for having me. I love the title. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, I'm all the way in. I'm all the way in with that. But my website is kendelllenice.com. You can go into services. You can book a free conversation. I don't call it a consultation, a free conversation with me right at my website. You can follow me on Instagram at Kendéll Lenice as well as YouTube and Facebook. On TikTok, I am the Remix Coach. But you can connect. I want you guys, all my books are on Amazon. It's about 9 over there. Definitely support that. They're all going to help you grow, uplift you in the kind of conversations that we're having right now. Definitely. Again, my new show, Grown Woman Energy. I have a lot of stuff going on my YouTube channel. I have different playlist on there. So go. It's almost like you're watching TV. There's something for everybody. But I'm really excited about this newest talk show, Grown Woman Energy. You don't have to be over 50 because if God blesses you, you will be. So this is not just for women, it's for men too. Men are loving it too. They're getting insight, how to be with their wives and their girlfriends and their sisters, their mothers. So it's amazing. And I also am a relationship expert. Remixing Relationships is my podcast also. So I will be on the radio tomorrow. I'm going to be on a relationship panel. So just follow me and you'll see everything that I'm doing. I just hosted a Mother's Day brunch. I also do professional hosting as well and emceeing. So I'm just really, like I said, I'm trying to leave here empty. Doing everything, and it's not a stretch. Like Tamika said, like sometimes it looks chaotic to other people, but it's not. Everything is in line with our purpose and our destiny, and our gifts are making room for us. So you can catch me on all those platforms. I would love to see you and get to meet you through social media and beyond.
Absolutely. Again, thank you, Kendéll Lenice. You are amazing.
Oh,
And
likewise.
this whole premise of remixing your life is something that so many need to hear. There are so many people going through so many different things, and I know I've been one of those people before that was just stuck. But it's not just about your message, it's about the spirit of love that you bring with it
Mm.
and your personality and all the things combined that just make you who you are. And so
Oh.
today we appreciate you for joining us and for sharing your expertise with us. And for those of you who are listening, thank you for joining us today. Until next time, may your heart find peace, your spirit find strength, and your soul find a sanctuary. See you
Ooh.
next time.
I love that. Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much. That was so good. You are
I love
amazing.
you. Like, seriously, I do.
I love you back. Thank you.
I do. You're a blessing.
Oh,
Seriously.
thank you.
You
I
are a
appreciate that.
blessing. You're a blessing. You're a blessing.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
I
Oh, you.
appreciate that. Please tell Kendra thank you as well because she was on me and I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I
Yes.
feel full. I feel full right
Yes.
now.
Good. Good. I would hope so. I
Thank
hope
you.
so. That is my prayer every time I leave people's presence. I want them
Thank
to
you.
be
I
fine.
am. So anything you need, definitely reach out. I definitely
Yes.
support you in this ministry because that's what it is.
It is.
So I
It is. It
appreciate that.
absolutely is. I'm going to I'm going to this week. So part of this whole thing is, once I got on this soul reset journey, um, I felt impressed by God to go back to school, which was that's why I was laughing at you, because I was just like,